There are two types of classification of parvas or the chapters of Mahabharata. One way is to divide the entire story in 100 chapters. The other covers the entire story in 18 chapters. Maharshi Vyasa composed the story in 100 chapters. Later, when Mahamuni Suta visited Shaunakadi rishis in the forest of Naimisharanya, he narrated the Mahabharata story to the rishis in 18 chapters. The following is the list of 18 parvas or chapters of Mahabharata narrated by Suta Mahamuni. The long Adi Parva is the first of the 18 chapters. Some of the stories in Adi Parva are about the greatness of Uttanka, the descendants of Brigu's lineage, birth of snakes and Garuda, ocean churning, Sarpa Yagna, birth of various kings, birth of Brahmanas, and birth of Maharshi Vedavyas, then the birth of Daityas, Danavas, Yakshas, Nagas, Gandharvas, and birds is described. The story of birth of Bhishma, Chitrangada, Vichitravirya, Dhritarashtra, Pandu, and Pandavas. The stories of Tapti, Vashishta, Aurva, Hidimba, and Gatotkacha, then Devi Draupadi marrying Pandavas. Story of Ulupi, birth of Baburvahana, abduction of Subhadra, birth of Abhimanyu, burning of Kandava forest. Saving the life of demon Maya, Mandapala, and Sharanga birds are some of the stories. The second chapter is known as Sabha Parva. It describes the building of the assembly hall or Sabha of Pandavas. Description of various Sabhas in the celestial worlds by Rishi Narada. Killing of Jarasandha, killing of Shishupala, Duryodhana's misery due to jealousy, Bhima taunts Duryodhana in the assembly hall. As a consequence of this, a game of dice was plotted, in which Draupadi and Pandavas were insulted. After winning the game of dice, another game of dice was challenged by the Kauravas. The third Parva is Aranyaka Parva. It has the stories of Yudhishthira followed by the citizens when leaving for the forest. Killing of Saubha and Kirmira is described. Arjuna duels with Mahadeva, who comes in the form of a hunter. Arjuna goes to heaven. The righteous and pitiful story of Nala and Damayanti. Killing of Jatasura. Bhima's journey to Gandhamadana mountain on Draupadi's request. Agastya and Vatapi, Sukanya and Shavana. King Somaka puts his son Jantu in fire to obtain 100 sons in return. Story of sage Ashtavakra and Bandi. Arjuna's battle with Nivata Kavachas of Hiranyapura and fight with Gandharvas in cattle expedition. Pandavas return to Dvaitavana. Abduction of Draupadi. Meeting with Markandeya and other stories. The stories of Savitri, Audalaka, and Vainya. The story of Ramayana. Theft of Karna's earrings and wood kindling. The fourth Parva is the Virata Parva, which describes how Pandavas arrived at the city of Virata, a large shemi tree in a cremation ground. Killing of Kichaka, Kauravas defeated by Arjuna. Uttara marries Abhimanyu. The fifth chapter is Udyoga Parva. Pandavas living in Upaplavya. Duryodhana and Arjuna both go to Krishna for help in the battle. Foolish Duryodhana asks for soldiers, but Arjuna asks Krishna to be a counselor in the battle. Sanjaya sent as a messenger for peace. Dhritarashtra suffered from insomnia. Spiritual doctrine of Sanat Sujata told to Dhritarashtra. Krishna advises Karna, but Karna, intoxicated with arrogance, refuses the advice. The cruel tongued Uluka sent as a messenger to the Pandavas by Duryodhana. The story of Amba. The sixth Parva is the Bhishma Parva, creation of a region known as Jambu, narration of battle for 10 days, placing of Shikhandi in front and wounding of Bhishma. The seventh Parva is known as Drona Parva, which consists Abhimanyu's death, Arjuna killing Jayadratha, deaths of Alambusha, Shrutayus, Jalasandha, Saumadatti, Virata, Drupada, Gatotkacha, and others. The eighth Parva is Karna Parva, where the appointment of Shalya, the king of Madra, is described. Old story of destruction of Tripura. Story of the swan and the crow. Arjuna killing Karna. The ninth Parva is the Shalya Parva, where the king of Madra, named Shalya, becomes the commander of the army. Shalya's death, the holy pilgrimage of the Saraswati river, is described. The 10th Parva is the terrible Sauptika Parva. Duryodhana lying on the ground with thighs broken and his body covered with blood. Draupadi grieving for the deaths of her sons, father, and brother, and sat before her husbands, resolving to die of fasting. Bhima runs after Ashwadhama, who releases the celestial weapon to destroy the Pandavas. Palguna neutralized the weapon. Maharshi Vyasa cursed Ashwathama, and Ashwathama also cursed Dvaipayana. Funeral of kings with offering of water. The story of the birth of Karna. The 11th Parva is the pathetic Stree Parva, pitiful lamentations of the wives of dead warriors. Burning of the dead bodies according to the prescribed rites. The great souled author composed the story to move the hearts and bring tears to the eyes of good people. Then the 12th Parva is the Shanti Parva. Yudhishthira dejected. The path to salvation is described in great detail. A person who understands this attains supreme knowledge. It is filled with the fruit of meditation. The 13th Parva is the Anushasana Parva. The 14th Parva is the Ashwamedhika Parva, the excellent story of Samvarta and Marutta, the discovery of the golden treasures, the birth of Parikshit, Arjuna meets Babruwahana, story of mongoose. The 15th Parva is Ashramavasika Parva. King Dhritarashtra, Gandhari, Vidura, and Kunti retire to the forest. Maharshi Vedavyasa gives incomparable sight to Dhritarashtra. With this sight, he saw his dead sons, grandsons, and other kings. They died in the war and had gone to the other world. These dead relatives returned to King Dhritarashtra. On seeing them, King Dhritarashtra discarded his sorrow. Narada informed Yudhishthira about the destruction of the Vrishni lineage. The 16th is the Musala Parva. On the shores of the salty ocean, driven by destiny, the Vrishnis killed one another. Arjuna performed the funeral ceremonies of Krishna and Balarama. Then follows the 17th Mahaprasthanika Parva. The Pandavas, accompanied by Draupadi, gave up their kingdom and left for their great journey. Next comes the 18th Parva called the Swargarohana Parva. It is full of celestial matters. These are the contents of the 18 Parvas or chapters. The appendices are known as the Harivamsha or the genealogy of Hari and Bhavishya or the book of the future. The entire contents of Bharata are described in the chapter known as Parva Sangraha Parva. Like the worlds have evolved from the five elements, the inspirations of all poets flow from this supreme history of Bharata. There is no tale on earth that is not based on this account. The Bharata that flowed from the lips of Dvaipayana is immeasurable, sacred, purifying, salvation, and the dispeller of sin. The following is the list of 100 Parvas or chapters of Mahabharata by Maharshi Vyasa. Anukramanika, Parva Sangraha, Paushya, Pauloma, Astika, Adivamshavatarana, Sambhava, Jatugrihadaha, Hidimbavada, Bakavada, Chaitraratha, Draupadi Swayamvara, Vaivahika. Viduragamana, Rajyalabha, Arjuna Vanavasa, Subhadraharana, Haranaharika, Kandavadaha. These 19 Parvas come under Adi Parva. Sabha, Mantra, Jarasandavada, Digvijaya, Rajasuya, Arghabhyarana, Shishupalavada, Dyuta, Anudyuta. These come within Sabha Parva. Aranyaka, Kirmiravada, Kairata, Indralokhabhigamana, Tirthayatra, Jatasuravada, Yakshayuddha, ಅಜಗರ, ಮಾರ್ಕಂಡೇಯ ಸಮಸ್ಯ, ದ್ರೌಪದಿ ಸತ್ಯಭಾಮ ಸಂವಾದ, ಘೋಷಯಾತ್ರ, ಮೃಗಸ್ವಪ್ನ ಭಯ, ಬೃಹದ್ರೌಣಿಕ, ದ್ರೌಪದಿ ಹರಣ, ಕುಂಡಲ ಹರಣ, ಆರಣೇಯ. These come under Aranyaka Parva. ವಿರಾಟ, ಕೀಚಕವಧ, ಗೋಗ್ರಹಣ, ವೈವಾಹಿಕ. These come under Virata Parva. ಉದ್ಯೋಗ, ಸಂಜಯಯಾನ, ಪ್ರಜಗರ, ಸನತ್ ಸುಜಾತ, ಯಾನ ಸಂಧಿ, ಭಗವತ್ಯಾನ, ಕರ್ಣ ಉಪನಿವಾದ, ಅಭಿನಿರ್ಯಾಣ, ಭೀಷ್ಮ ಅಭಿಷೇಚನ, ಉಲೂಕಾಯಾನ, ರಥ ಅತಿರಥ ಸಂಖ್ಯ, ಅಂಬಾ ಉಪಖ್ಯಾನ. These come under Udyoga Parva. ಜಂಬೂ ಕಾಂಡ ವಿನಿರ್ಮಾಣ, ಭೂಮಿ, ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತಾ, ಭೀಷ್ಮವಧ. These come under Bhishma Parva. ದ್ರೋಣಾಭಿಷೇಕ, ಸಂಶಾಪ್ತಕ ವಧ, ಅಭಿಮನ್ಯು ವಧ, ಪ್ರತಿಜ್ಞಾ, ಜಯದ್ರಥ ವಧ, ಘಟೋತ್ಕಚ ವಧ, ದ್ರೋಣ ವಧ, ನಾರಾಯಣಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಮೋಕ್ಷ. These come under Drona Parva. Karna Vada. This Parva comes under Karna Parva. ಶಲ್ಯವಧ, ಹೃದ ಪ್ರವೇಶ, ತೀರ್ಥಯಾತ್ರ, ಗದಾಯುದ್ಧ. These come under Shalya Parva. Sauptika, Aishika. These come under Sauptika Parva. ವಿಶೋಕ, ಸ್ತ್ರೀ, ಶ್ರದ್ಧಾ, ಜಲಪ್ರದಾನಿಕ. These come under Sri Parva. ರಾಜಧರ್ಮ, ಆಪದ್ಧರ್ಮ, ಮೋಕ್ಷಧರ್ಮ. These come under Shanti Parva. ದಾನ ಧರ್ಮ, ಭೀಷ್ಮ ಸ್ವರ್ಗಾರೋಹಣ. These come under Anushasana Parva. Ashwamedhika Parva. This comes from Ashwamedhika Parva. ಆಶ್ರಮವಾಸ, ಪುತ್ರದರ್ಶನ, ನಾರದ ಗಮನ. These come from Ashramavasika Parva. Mausala Parva is from Mausala Parva. Mahaprasthanika Parva is from Mahaprasthanika Parva. ಸ್ವರ್ಗಾರೋಹಣ, ಹರಿವಂಶ, ವಿಷ್ಣು, ಭವಿಷ್ಯ. These are from ಸ್ವರ್ಗಾರೋಹಣ Parva.
Dear friends, this summary of chapters is from Parva Sangraha Parva, Adi Parva of Mahabharata. Thank you.